Hi, my name is Aubrey Wicker, and I struggle with depression. Growing up, I was always the kid that was the center of attention, the one that always answered the questions the teachers asked in class. I had great parents who took me to church every Sunday, taught me to love Christ. I kind of viewed mental health, I didn't view it as a real illness. And then turned to high school, I was diagnosed with Turner syndrome, which is a genetic condition. Since girls normally have two X's, I only have one. And so that means that I can't have kids, most likely. So that was really hard to process. But in the same time, I just shoved it into a box and finished out high school. Not forgot about it, but didn't really process it emotionally. And then I came to college, and everywhere you turn, people are talking about babies, babies, babies. And I was like, that's not gonna be me. Kind of just opened up the box and exploded it in my face. I really struggled with feeling like no guy would ever love me or care for me because I couldn't have kids. I don't want to do that to someone. I don't want to marry someone and keep them from having kids of their own. Through that, I started struggling a lot with depression. I stopped eating, stopped really talking much to anyone. I kind of just stayed in my room. I kind of shut all my friends out, and it just kept getting worse and worse. Eventually, I ended up going to the hospital and got a little bit of help there. I called my dad, and he was basically like, okay, I'm coming to get you. That hit me. Okay, he actually really cares about me. Throughout that second semester, I just shut my parents out and started doing my own thing and started treating my friends as my parents, of coming to them for advice instead of my parents, which isn't entirely a bad thing, but my parents have a lot more wisdom than some of my friends did. I went back for a week, and then I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this. I can't get better and do school at the same time. So I ended up not finishing that semester. I had about 6 weeks left, so I went home. I rested for a couple weeks and then ended up going to talk to a counselor. In April, I was climbing a tree and the branch snapped and I fell. And I ended up breaking my leg, which made me kind of immobile for about 3 months because I had to have surgery. But that kind of led me to the time I was sitting in my bed one day. I ended up picking up my Bible that was sitting on my nightstand. In my Bible was a verse that my cousin had highlighted at my graduation party, and it was 2 Corinthians 12:9, which says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me." Through that, I started to realize, hey, following Christ doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It does mean that you have to trust him with everything, but through your weaknesses and through those hard things that you're going through, the fact that you're trusting Christ reflects his glory and his power. So I gained a new perspective on Christianity, and honestly, I would deem that my salvation point. Of course, I was not perfect and I wasn't magically cured, but that was my turning point, and I'm still not magically cured. But I started trusting Christ with all my struggles, and okay, Christ, maybe your plan isn't for me to have kids. Maybe you have a different plan for me. He healed my heart, brought it back together, and brought it back to him. I want to tell people that are struggling, don't go through this alone. Whether that's talking to your parents, friends, counselor, your RA, your RD, whoever it is, it doesn't matter, but please talk to someone. The number one thing is to dig into the Word, because he is constant, he is forever, and he's your Savior. Even if your whole life is consumed, no matter what you go through in this life, it doesn't matter, because eternity is in the future with Christ. And so, I don't know, don't give up.